feeling energy-wise? It's the winter solstice today. Happy
Yes,
solstice.
yes, it is. Yeah.
So because it's the winter solstice, I thought we could do something to honor that today. There's a lot of winter solstice rituals that are beautiful to do if we were in person, like being around candles and fires and writing on wood or inscribing and like a Yule log and burning that for our intentions. But in the terms and the landscape of a yoga practice, my intention is to honor the slow rhythm of winter tonight with a slower practice and more time for pausing. So more incorporation of yin poses throughout the flow. So there will still be some flow, but incorporating some yin poses in and amongst that. And then having a nice long, hopefully if I don't run too late, but I'll make sure I take time for it, a 15-minute Shavasana at the end. How does that sound? So yeah, grab anything that you might need for that. If you want pillows, bolsters, blankets, get cozy and comfortable. But we are going to start at the top of our mat with some sun salutations. So start yourself up there standing. We'll give you a few moments and we'll meet you there. Put you all on mute. Okay. So taking a moment to stand, letting your feet be anchored, connected to the earth, closing the eyes, softening the shoulders, letting your hand come to the heart, one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. And just take a moment to connect with the breath. Closing the eyes and really feeling the rhythm of your breath. Letting our breath become slow and smooth. And I like to think of it like an accordion. So as I inhale, I can feel the hand of my belly draw away from the hand of my heart. And as we exhale, those two hands draw back towards each other. Playing a very slow, soothing melody with the breath. And turning our awareness down again into the feet and just feeling, perhaps you're starting with a little movement, a little sway, just to really feel the front and back of the foot and to really solidify the connection of feet on the ground. And perhaps even visualizing you could have roots growing down and out from your feet into the soil below you, into the earth. Anchoring our energy down into the ground. And for our part of the world, this winter solstice is the time of the deepest winter. It's the shortest day of the year. And it's the time when most animals will turn to hibernate, and there's this slowing down and this honoring of the darkness. But in that, there is also the hope of the return of light. So in this darkest day, there is also a glimmer of hope that the light is going to return again, that we're slowly starting to build our longer days with more sunshine, more warmth, and more light. So I want us to honor both of those today in our practice. Honoring the light, honoring the sun with our sun salutations, but also honoring the darkness, the yin quality, the winter, the stillness. And dancing between those two. And so let's inhale, reach up towards the sun, reach up towards the sky, and really feel that invigoration of reaching upwards into the sky, that lengthening through the side of the waist. And as you exhale, bend your knees and bow forward. Let your head drop, forward fold. Inhaling, come up halfway, hands to shins, thighs, or even the hands could be rested on the floor. Exhale, fold back in. Inhale again, lifting up halfway. Draw the shoulders back. Exhale, take your bow. We're going to do that once more, still down here. Inhaling, lift up halfway, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, take a bow. This time, come all the way up. Inhale, circle the arms, reach up to the sky, pressing into the feet. Exhale, the hands back to the heart. Okay, now we'll go into the full sun salutation. Inhale, circle the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Let your weight come forward to the fronts of your feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Again, feel the weight in your toes. Exhale, fold. Stepping the right leg back. As you exhale, sink into the hips and pull the chest and gaze forward. Inhaling into your plank pose. Find the top of your push-up. Exhale, lower down, your choice, however you get to the floor. Hug the elbows in. Inhale, firm the legs as you open up the front body, the heart. Exhaling into your downward facing dog. Let's take a couple of breaths here, maybe even a couple of movements, letting the weight shift from right to left. Right to left. Grounding through the hands. Feel the sit bones, the hips lifting up to the sky. One last breath here. On your next inhale, step the right foot forward. Landing it between the hands. Sink into the hips. Pull the chest forward. Inhale, step it forward, lift the chest. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, reach to the sky. Circle the arms and exhale, pull the hands back to heart center. Second round, inhale. Reach the arms to the sky. Exhale, fold. Empty the breath. Inhale, halfway lift. Lengthen through the sideways. Exhale, fold. Step the left leg back, inhale. Exhale, sink into the lunge, gaze forward. Inhaling into your plank pose. Exhale, lowering down, your choice. Inhale, slide the chest forward and through, back bend of your choice. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Full breath here. And then 2 more breaths, really exploring your downward facing dog. It could be still, maybe honoring the stillness here. You could be moving. In that movement, getting a little bit more awareness, refining slightly, creating more space. Last breath. On your next inhale, look to the hands, step the left foot forward. Exhale, sink the hips, but look forward. Inhale, step it all the way forward, lift the heart. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, arms sweep up to the sky. Exhale, the hands back to the heart center. And again, inhale, circle the arms, reach to the sky. Exhale, take your bow, let the body drape forward, let your head drop. Inhale, rise, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Let's step the right leg back. This time, bring the knee down to the ground. Inhale, sweep the arms upwards to the sky. And just take a moment here. Let your hips sink forward. Hug the outer hips in so you get this strengthening feeling, this hugging quality, rooting quality through the hips, the legs. Then we're going to take the thumbs and you're just going to cross one thumb over the other, interlinking the thumbs. Pull the hands, pull the arms away from one another. So your thumbs are locked, but the arms are connected by the thumbs. And the more we pull and separate them, the more opening space is created. And the more warmth we're getting through the muscles, honoring that solar quality, the sun, keeping the heart lifted, maybe even taking it into a slight back bend. Take one more breath here. And then as we exhale, take the hands to the floor, send your left hip back and take a bow over that left leg. Walk your hands behind or underneath rather your shoulders, letting your body bow forward. Maybe even taking an audible sigh, letting the breath escape through the mouth. Beautiful. And let's take one more breath here. And then let's bring ourselves back into our lunge, back into our plank pose. Left foot steps back. Hold your plank pose for a moment. Really push the floor away. Feel your back lifting up towards the sky, lower belly drawing in. Again, creating that heat and that warmth through the whole body. And then lowering down, your choice how you're going to get there. Inhale, slide through and open up. Exhaling back into your downward facing dog. Lift the hips. Press the thighs back. And then this time we're going to drop down to our knees, coming into our child's pose. So let's find some stillness. So in that pose, in that sequence, it was quite invigorating, some of the things we were doing. Sun salutations as they are in nature, quite invigorating. So let's bring back a little bit of that balance. Let's come into our stillness for a moment. Arms can be reaching forward, or perhaps you let them slide back, letting the hands rest by your feet. I'm just taking a moment, breathing slowly and deeply into the back body. Let the weight rest, the weight of your forehead rest on the floor or on your hands. The weight of your hips resting backwards towards the heels. Feel that subtle movement of breath against your own body. And just enjoying this little moment of rest. And let's take one more breath here. And then stretching the arms out if they are behind you. Coming back into your downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, pull the weight back. We're going to step that right foot forward, bringing the left knee down to the floor this time. Inhale, taking the arms upwards to the sky, finding our low lunge, giving a little hug into the hips, a lifting up through the waist, and we're going to interlace the thumbs again, so that left thumb goes on top of the right this time. Separating your hands, your arms, but keeping those thumbs locked. Lifting the heart up towards the sky, lifting up through the sides of your waist. Might even add a little back bend there, leaning back. Take one more breath here. And then as we exhale, separate the hands, pull the right hip back, take a bow over that right leg. Maybe hands underneath the shoulders. I'm trying to feel that right hip sinking down towards the floor so that the pelvis is stable and level. It's really easy to have that right hip hiked up, lifted up a little bit higher. Try to sink it down. And take one more breath here. And then we're going to walk our hands forward, place that foot forward. Inhale, step it forward, lift the heart. Exhale, take your bow. Inhaling to rise, sweep the arms right up to the sky as if you're going to reach for the sun or the moon. And exhale the hands to the heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky again. Maybe this time add a little back bend. Exhale, fold it forward, bend the knees and take a bow. Coming up halfway, inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. We're going to step the left leg back this time. Keeping that knee lifted, we're going to reach the arms upwards for Crescent Lunge. So coming into a high lunge this time, reaching fingertips to the sky, sending that right knee and shin forward. And let's energize that back leg a little bit more. Feel that you're trying to lift the top of the thigh upwards towards the sky, radiating out through the fingertips. So let's bring in some of this sun energy, this solar energy. Winter solstice is that place where we come to right before, so it's the darkest night of the year, But it's that balance. As soon as we get through this day, then we start to have longer days again and shorter nights. So for me, it's about the balance. This is a day of coming back into balance and celebrating that. Take one more breath here. Beautiful. Then from here, we're going to step the back foot in, drop the heel, and we're going to come into pyramid pose, reaching the arms forward, draw that right hip back. Keep reaching, and pause here. Keep the arms reaching in front of you, draw the belly in. So this is strong for your core. Make sure it's not for your back. If you're feeling it and comfortable in your back, brace your hands on your thighs. Keep reaching forward, one more breath. And then drop the hands to the leg or to the floor, depending on how much flexibility you have in your body at this moment. Let your head drop. Slow, deep breath. And let's honor the stillness just by holding here. Finding that stillness. Ground into your feet. Find that stability, that quality of rooting. And remember, the hands don't have to be on the floor just because mine are. They could be here on the thigh. It could be up on the shin. Let your head relax, making sure the head is hanging heavy. One last breath. And then walk your hands up the leg, coming all the way back up to standing. And then we're going to step forward. That left foot comes to the right. And we're going to come into a little chair pose. Bend at your knees, send your bum back as if you're sitting in a chair, and reach the arms to the sky. Slow, deep breath in. And then as you exhale, fold forward and pause here. Pause in your forward fold. Let the weight come forward into the balls of your feet. Perhaps hold opposite elbows. Maybe a soft bend in the knees. Bending those knees as much as you need to. And think about your spine for a moment. Think about all of those joints of the spine, those vertebrae where the discs are held and placed. And think about that being opened, a little bit of space being created between each of the vertebrae, each of the joints and discs of the back. Letting your head get heavy. So even here, there's space between those vertebrae. Feel the arms getting heavy. That stillness. And on your next breath, take an exhalation just to release anything that was no longer serving us in this moment, in this day, even in this cycle, as we move into a new cycle. Just releasing any of the old stuff that is no longer serving. And then from here, we're going to drop the arms. Chin to chest, roll the body up, coming up one vertebra at a time. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Lifting the shoulders to the ears, pulling them back, and let them slide down. Okay, let's do that on the second side. Inhale, reach the arms upwards to the sky. Exhale, take your bow, hinge forward at the hips, dropping the head. Come up halfway, inhale, lift the heart again. Exhaling into your fold. Stepping the right leg back, make sure you land on the ball of that back foot. Inhaling to rise into Crescent Lunge, reaching the arms upwards to the sky. Yes. Radiating up through your fingertips. So really send the energy all the way up into the hands. Radiate through the back leg, energize that back leg a bit more. Feel that the back of the thigh is lifting, the knee is lifting. Maybe get a little bit deeper in that front leg. Take one more breath here. Then we're going to step that right foot in so we can drop the heel down. Hips are still facing forward. And then we're going to lean forward. As you lean forward, really pull that belly in. It wants to be really strong. If not, we're going to feel that in the lower back. If you're still feeling it in your lower back, then just take your hands to the thigh and brace here. Or extend the arms. Take one more breath. Should feel a little bit of heat. And then we're going to bow. So let your hands come to thigh, to shin, or to floor, wherever is good for your body in this moment. Coming in towards that stillness again. Think about those discs of the spine, the vertebrae, the joints of the spine, creating more space here. And in this stillness and things slowing down, it gives us space. And sometimes we're resistant to that space. Sometimes we feel that stillness and that space has been imposed on us since, as we did here in 2020, we had a lot of space. But it's this space that allows us to open, to grow, to go inside. The stillness allows for the space, and the space allows for us to grow. Here, we're literally just growing our spine a little bit taller. Let's walk our hands back up the leg. Boop, boop, boop. And reaching the arms back up to the sky, we're going to step the right foot forward. Find our chair pose again. Bend the knees, send your hips back. See if you can sink just a little bit deeper. A little bit deeper. See if you can sink a little bit deeper. And then see if you can shift the weight forward onto the balls of your feet. Perhaps you can come all the way down to toe stand so that you're kneeling. Yes. Then we're going to come to our seat. So however you need to, maybe the hands come behind you. Then Baddha Konasana. So bring the soles of your feet together. Lift your hips up so you can wiggle your sit bones back. Holding onto your ankles, breathe in. And as you exhale, come forward into a forward fold, Baddha Konasana. Use your elbows to help press the knees open and wide. Again, creating some space. Let the stillness of the pose create the space to go in and in and in. As we go in, we can observe our tensions, where we can work on releasing a little bit more. And creating space for stillness. And stillness leads to that inner space. And let's take one more breath here. And then we're going to inhale. Keep our legs in this position. Lift yourself up. And you're going to reach your arms forward, interlacing the fingers all but the first finger, like your Charlie's Angel Mudra. Then we're going to roll ourselves back. So your legs are going to stay in this position. You're just going to start to roll yourself onto your back. Inhale. Lift the arms above your head. As you exhale, we're going to lift ourselves up. And we're going to fold forward. Let your hands perhaps touch the floor in front of you. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, roll back. Inhale, take the arms all the way back. Exhale, come all the way forward. Reach forward. Inhaling to come up. Tall, straight spine. Exhale, roll yourself back. Inhale, the arms up and overhead. Exhale, big lift. And come all the way forward. Inhale. Coming all the way back. Inhale again. Exhale, roll yourself back. Inhale, take the arms up and overhead. Exhale, all the way forward. Good. This is our last one. Inhaling to rise. Exhale. See how slow you can go back. Ooh. Inhale. When you get there, reach the arms up and overhead. Exhaling. Shoot yourself up forward. And then fold. Take a moment here. Undo your hands. Let the palms turn up to the sky. Embracing that stillness again. Closing the eyes so that the light is kept out. Leaning into embracing that darkness. Softening the shoulders and deepening the breath. Let's take one more breath here. And then slowly we're going to rise, coming all the way back up. Close the knees. Use your hands behind you. Bring your feet in a little bit closer. And just walk yourself back up into that toe stand. And then this time we're going to take our feet wider to the edges of the mat into our Malasana. And again, personal preference how wide your feet are. Some like to go really wide. Some like to be really narrow. Just see what works best for you. Place your elbows to your inner knees, hands to the heart. If you need the hands to the floor, that's okay too. See if you can lift up a little bit more tall, a little bit taller. My English is getting really bad these days. Elbows into the inner thighs, tailbone down. And feel the breath all the way down in your belly, in the pelvic floor. Pulling the breath downwards towards the earth, giving us that sense, that quality of grounding, of heaviness, but also opening, expansion. We're going to take one more breath here. And then we're going to come up. So we're going to inhale, take the arms out to the side first. This is like a goddess pose, quite empowering. And then I want you to slowly come up. Use those muscles of your legs to lift you up. Be mindful of your knees. Make sure your knees agreed with that. Exhale the hands to your heart. Now, if that made you too dizzy because of changing the blood pressure too quickly, I want you just to come up in a way that feels okay for your body. We're going to inhale, circle the arms around and up to the sky. Exhale, hands through the middle, and we're going to come down again. Maybe don't go so low if that didn't feel good, or bring it all the way down. Inhale, circle the arms. Push into the feet, reach up to the sky. Exhale the hands back through the middle, come all the way down. Let's go nice and slow. Inhale, circle the arms, push down into those feet, reach up to the sky. Exhale all the way down. Once more. Inhale, circle the arms, reach up to the sky. And then we're going to hold that Malasana again. Exhale all the way down, belly in tight as you lower, and hold Malasana. Maybe it feels the same. Maybe it feels a bit easier, a bit more open now. Maybe it feels worse. Just as you ever need to. And then we're going to take that left arm to the floor in front of that left leg. Reach the right arm up to the sky and open out, open up. Take one more breath here. And then let's switch. Take that right arm in front of your right leg. Inhale the left arm to the sky. Open out, open up. One more breath. And then as we exhale, we're going to take the hands in front of us. You can either just pop yourself down like that, or take your hands behind you like you did before. We're going to open the legs this time nice and wide. Hands down in front of us. Breathe in. If you want to use a pillow or a bolster here to lie over, you can. We're going to walk our hands forward. We're going to be here for several breaths, a few moments. So if you want to add that support, you can. If you are able to get your elbows to the floor, sometimes it's nice to hold the head if you don't have any props nearby. And if you're not there, don't worry, hands to the floor, but let the forehead be heavy so that the inner gaze goes inside. And allow the body to rest here. Rest is so sacred and so necessary. Let everything get still and quiet. Let's take just another 2 breaths here. And we're going to inhale, slowly rise, bring ourselves back up. This time we're going to pull those knees in, and we're going to rock and roll until we can get some momentum to come to our feet. If it happens, wonderful. It's just a bit of play. But this is going to really wake us up. So think of this like springtime when everything is bursting with energy again. So we're going to hug the knees into our chest, roll yourself back, roll yourself forward. Roll back, roll forward until you start building up momentum, and then maybe you can come up onto your feet into standing position. May or may not happen so gracefully, and that's okay. Yeah. Like spring, you are like a tiny little seed that just all of a sudden bursted out of its shell. Feet back to the earth. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. As we exhale, take a bow, hinge over the legs, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Let's step the right leg back, spin the heel down, and let's come up for warrior 2. Cartwheel the arms open and wide. Sink into the feet, sink into the legs. Open the knees, open up the hips, and really reach out, radiate out through your fingertips. And let's turn this into our peaceful warrior. Inhale, left arm reaches up and over. Big side stretch. As we exhale, cartwheel all the way into triangle pose. Whoop. And we're going to move with the breath. So we're going to inhale, bend the left knee, reach the left arm up and back. Reverse warrior. Exhaling into our triangle pose. Left leg straightens, right arm up to the sky. Inhale, bend the knee, reach it up and over. And exhaling into our triangle pose. This time, let's hold our triangle pose. Maybe the gaze is upwards towards the sky. Or maybe the gaze is downwards towards the ground. But feel that space opening through the body. Feel that space between each of the vertebrae of your spine again, even up through the neck. And feel that space. Now that there's stillness, we can work on cultivating more space. More space for a deeper breath. More space for awareness, which creates that space in our mind so we're not so cluttered with our thoughts. One more breath here. And then we're going to bend this left knee. Now we can either place the forearm to the thigh, or if we're really deep and open in the hips now, that hand can come to the floor and reach that right arm up and over the ear for side angle pose. Reaching that right arm up and over, keep reaching, pushing back through the right foot so we get all that lovely, beautiful space through the right side body. Now we're going to take this right hand to the floor. Sink and push back the hips. Maybe take a bow here to the inside of that left leg. And then we're going to come up, take your left hand on the outside of your left foot. And we're going to pull this left foot back and in. Pause here. We're preparing for a pigeon pose. So I'm holding my leg in this shape. Yes, it's activating my core, strengthening my arms and shoulders. But then I'm going to place this leg down for my pigeon pose. Extend the right leg back. And then let's go into that stillness of this pose. Coming down to our forearms. Place the forehead to the earth or the hands. And if you prefer to hug a bolster here or to lie on top of some pillows, take that. Let's Slow down your breath wherever you are. Every time we inhale, the heart speeds up just a little bit. Every time we exhale, the heart rate slows down. So here, let's try to cultivate a longer exhalation. As animals hibernate, as we move from our busyness of our day into our restfulness of sleep, our heart rates slow down. We don't need to produce so much energy, so everything starts to move more slowly. Seeing if we can mimic that energy. Leaning in towards that slower pace of being. On your next inhale, slowly start to lift your body. Coming into your downward facing dog, tuck the toes, lift the hips, pull the hips back. Now we're going to step the right foot forward. Spin your back heel down, cartwheel the arms, open it up for your warrior two. Reach out through both fingertips, sink into the legs, sink into your feet. Reverse this warrior. Inhale, right arm up to the sky. Exhaling into your triangle pose. Right leg straightens, cartwheel the arms over, look to the sky. Inhaling, reverse the warrior, bend the right knee, right arm reaches up and over. Exhaling, triangle pose. Pull the right leg back, left arm to the sky. 2 more times. Inhale, reach it up and over, reverse the warrior. Exhaling back into your triangle pose. Once more, then we'll hold triangle. Inhale, reverse it again. Exhaling, hold your triangle pose this time. Make sure you're not locking in that knee. Create space. Now that we're moving towards stillness, letting there be space again in the body. Pressing through that left foot, reaching up through the left hand. Find some opening, maybe even leaning the heart back. Take one more breath here. And then we're going to bend this right knee. Either take your forearm to the front thigh, reach that left arm up and over, or if your hips are open, take the hand down to the floor, reaching up, over and across. Spin the ribs to the sky. Take one more breath here. And then take that left hand down to the floor, hips press back just for a moment. Take a bow on that inside of the right leg. And then bring both hands to frame your front foot. So you're going to spin your body towards the front of the mat. Lift that right foot up, drag the heel back and pause. So you're in the position now for your pigeon pose, but we're holding here. Holding here, cultivating that strength, that warmth. And then lie the leg down and find your pigeon pose. Extend the left leg back. Lower yourself down to the floor. Maybe your forehead comes all the way to the earth. Or maybe you need to pillow it with your arms or your hands or an actual prop, pillow or block. And sinking downwards into the hips. Letting the forehead be heavy in the hands. Slowing the breath down. And one more breath here. And we're going to drop over to the right hip. And we're going to slowly come up, swinging that left leg around in front of us. And we're going to come onto our back. So this is a time where you can grab hold of those things that you're going to need in a moment as we come towards Shavasana in a moment's time. And then when you finally are ready, all of your things nearby, let's roll ourselves onto our back. Slowly, 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 using the core to help us break our way down. And once you get to the back, reach the arms up to the sky and over your head, big full stretch. Hugging the knees into your chest, big squeeze of the legs into the body. And then let's finish with our twist. So extending the arms open, dropping the knees over to one side. Letting your head turn, your gaze turn in the opposite direction. And really allow your body to surrender. Really allow the body to release completely to the ground below. And the breath to become slow and deep. And see if here you can make your exhalation longer than your inhalation. And perhaps you even make it to a place at the bottom of the exhale where we're comfortable suspending the breath for a moment. And let's take one more breath here. And then on your next inhale, bring the knees back up to the sky and exhale them over to the other side. Again, that moment to reposition, readjust anything that needs to be adjusted. And to scan the body to see if we have truly let go, or if there are still muscles that are actively holding the body or resisting the ground. Sometimes it's a finger or a toe or a hand or a foot. Letting the body soften. Slowing down the breath. The exhalation longer than the inhalation. And then on your next inhale, bringing the knees back up to the sky and taking the feet back to the floor And now we'll move into our Shavasana. So gathering anything you need to get cozy there. Extending the legs out in front of you. And having your arms a comfortable distance apart. Palms of the hands upwards to the sky. Taking a moment to scan your body to see if there are any muscles that are still actively holding on, resisting the rest, resisting the earth below you, and allow that yielding, that sense of merging. And then bring your awareness to the tip of your nose, and to the breath that comes in and out through the tip of the nose. And see if you can even notice each individual nostril as you draw the breath in through the nose. Perhaps it's more obvious, more dominant to feel the breath on one side, one nostril, than it is the other. The left nostril is associated with our yin qualities, like the winter, where things are slower, we're more at ease, more restful. And the right side, right nostril, is associated with the sun, the solar, that more yang-like quality, more energy, more zang. So notice which one that you feel you are more dominant in at this moment. Is it the right or the left? Perhaps they're balanced and equal. And then for a moment, can you just think about breathing through the right nostril only, without using your hands to do so, like alternate nostril breath, but just actively trying your best to breathe just through the right nostril. Whether it's happening or not, just visualize that you could breathe only through the right nostril, letting the left side rest. And then change, actively breathing just through the left nostril. And bringing your awareness just to the left nostril. Then we're going to alternate just for a couple of breaths. Start by visualizing the breath in through the left nostril, out through the right nostril, in through the right nostril, out through the left nostril. In left, out right, in right, out left. And then breathing in both nostrils. Breathing out both nostrils, awareness of the breath through the nose. Balancing both the sun and the moon, our winter, our summer, our yin and our yang qualities. Letting that be put to the side. And just allowing the awareness to rest. Rested in this moment, this sacred rest. Letting the ground absorb the body. Absorb our tiredness, our sacred tiredness. And there's a poem I'd like to share as you rest here called Sacred Exhaustion. Your tiredness has dignity to it. Don't rush to pathologize it or push it away, for it might contain great intelligence, even medicine. You have been long on a journey from the stars, friend. Bow before your tiredness now, and do not fight it any longer. There is no shame in admitting that you cannot go on. Even the courageous need to rest. For a great journey lies ahead, and you will need all of your resources. Come, sit by the fire of presence. Let the body unwind. Drop into the silence here. And forget about tomorrow. Let go of the journey to come. And sink into this evening's warmth. Every great adventure is fueled by rest at its heart. Your tiredness is noble, friend, and contains healing power. Only if you listen. Your tiredness has dignity to it, great intelligence, even medicine. Come sit by the fire of presence and let the body unwind. Drop into silence. And just dropping into this silence, letting yourself rest. And taking one last breath here. A slow, deep breath in. And perhaps a big sigh as you exhale. And a slow and gentle wiggle of the fingers and the toes, and maybe a stretch and a yawn. And give yourself a big hug. Pull your knees into your chest. And a little rock from side to side. Give your adrenal glands, your kidneys, the back a massage. A little thank you note for all the work they've done this year, this week, today. And slowly rolling over to your side, taking a moment to pause. Letting that restfulness really seep in. And as you come up to your seat, do so in a way that's not too invigorating, not to awaken us or stimulate us. Once again, trying to stay in that restful stillness for as long as we can. And sitting with your eyes closed for another moment, just to notice how you feel and the space that has been created through our practice this evening. And bringing our hands to our heart. And I want to share one more poem before we leave, a poem for the winter solstice. And it's a winter solstice blessing. May the longest night and the shortest day bring rest to your mind and soul, I pray. May you find guidance and may you find peace as the cycle of light will slowly increase. Embrace the magic that the darkness bears. Breathe deep into the chill and the shift in the air. May you always be blessed with the light from within. And may well-being be yours and the new cycle begin. Thank you so much for your practice and for your presence. And have a beautiful solstice day.